I remember when I was a dumb teenager, I used to watch I Hate Everything. Like, I was there, before the whole Cold Cat drama went down. And I think the appeal was, in my kid mind, is that, oh my God, this guy is so jaded and cynical. He hates everything. And he hides behind the "it's just my opinion" excuse. Yeah, that's something that I Hate Everything tended to do a lot. Was anytime he gave like a crappy opinion, he would just pull the "oh, it's just my opinion" card in order to try and disregard any criticism towards his video. Nowadays, though, what I Hate Everything does now is boring, short movie reviews, and honestly, I've lost the appeal of him over time. I remember I used to defend him when he got called out for his shitty The Last Jedi video. God, that was an awful time. But that was before I found employment in the military. Anyway,
You will not attempt to access the perimeter wall.
okay, thank you, game. Anyway, I remember. I also remember he affiliated with other movie critics like YMS and Ralph the Movie Maker. Now, YMS, I also used to follow him too, but over time, I realized that he's a very pretentious and pompous idiot who unironically defends bestiality and also tries to justify lolicon art, which is lewd, inappropriate drawings of fictional children. If you defend lolly art or shota art or whatever, I just gotta say you're just giving off signs of being a borderline pedophile, and I do think that you need to be investigated. Like have your hard drive searched. I mean, don't worry, it's not illegal, but I just want to make sure you're not into the real thing. But because to me, being into that kind of stuff or defending it, that's a red flag. And red flags are good because the thing about red flags, right, is that they can tell you when something's bad. For example, if you see flies around a restaurant, that's a red flag that the restaurant's not that good in terms of quality. Same thing for people who defend lolly art. Like if you defend lolly art, that's a red flag that hey, you actually might be into children, and you're trying to use the art as an excuse to feel some sort of weird pleasure. Anyway, YMS is just complete trash. Very pompous, pretentious reviews. Total shill that hides his videos behind members only features. I remember when Ross Media called him out and YMS demanded. He made like a overly long YouTube comment that everybody laughed at. And according to Rob, YMS actually stalked his girlfriend and demanded an apology. And that's just really funny to me. And then the other critic that YMS or that I Hate Everything used to affiliate with, or I'm pretty sure they still do on some sort of shitty podcast, would be Ralph the Movie Maker. Now, I also used to watch Ralph the Movie Maker.
Arkham City provides regular food drops at designated points throughout the day.
Thank you, game.
Food drops will only occur at these times and in these locations. Prisoners are responsible for ensuring food is distributed fairly.
Now, I also used to watch Ralph the Movie Maker, and his whole shtick was that he would show up on the camera and pretend to be all cynical and jaded, and sometimes he would even show up with like some beer or be drunk or something like that before he started his analysis, because wow, he's so cynical and so jaded. Oh my god. He also has a film degree, which is admirable. Well, no, not really, because having a film degree is a useless degree. There have been people that made films without having a shitty, useless degree. I feel like if you're going to go to college and get a degree, get something useful, like in the medical or legal field, not in some art field. You don't need a degree for art. I mean, you can literally go to Walmart, buy some paper and some paint for like $20, including brushes, and you can just make art with that. But anyway, yeah, Ralph the Movie Maker used to brag about his film degree, and then when you watch his movies, they're very boring, and they don't really make much sense. And also, they're just super boring, like way more boring than the films that he criticizes. But yeah, that was the thing about Ralph the Movie Maker, and over time, he's lost popularity. Like even Like he has 500,000 subscribers. I just checked on his channel, and his more recent views haven't even hit 100K. And that's not bad at all. It happens. Every YouTuber eventually loses their popularity and relevance on the platform. I mean, that's just the way life is. Like, remember when Fred was popular? If you were watching this video when you were born, when Fred was around, or well, yeah. Anyway, Fred, he used to be the biggest YouTuber, and then hey, over time, people grew out of him, and that's gonna happen with every other YouTuber that's popular. People just grow up and move on. Like the same thing's gonna happen to Moist Critical one day. Trust me. But yeah, that's I Hate Everything and the other cynical movie reviewer trio thing. I guess the least worst of them would be I Hate Everything. But nowadays, looking back at his videos, they're very pretentious and boring. Honestly, I would say the Nostalgia Critic is a better, more humble critic than any of these YouTube critics I just mentioned. Because at least with the Nostalgia Critic, he takes criticism and has a sense of self-awareness. Whereas YMS and especially Ralph the Movie Maker and I Hate Everything love to huff their own farts without, knowing how shitty they smell. I and I agree with Ralph the Movie Maker's take on the Minions movie. Now I haven't seen any of the Minions movies, and I'll tell you why. But the thing I find pretentious about Ralph's take on the Minions movie is that he's like, animation is supposed to be a high art medium, and I'm like, yeah, it can be, but what the fuck were you expecting when you saw the Minions movie? Like, the trailer gives it away what this movie is gonna be. It's gonna be a comedy. It's gonna be stupid and retarded. And you went into the movie. You went into the Minions movie expecting it to be what, like Spirited Away? Did you expect it to be like Princess Mononoke or The Lion King? Did you go into the Minions movie expecting it to be some high quality film like Schindler's List or Pulp Fiction? No, it's the fucking Minions movie. I get that the Minions movie is bad, but when you have such ridiculously high expectations for a movie, especially a movie that's more or less just a shit post, I gotta say, that's actually pretty sad. Be more realistic.